This is Robert Margolacci, the MindShare Learning Report, Canada's Learning and Technology e-magazine, and welcome to this week in Canadian EdTech unboxing MindShare TV live podcast as we unbox CyberStart Canada with Kathryn Maksym, Program Manager, and Diana Barbosa, Senior Advisor on engaging girls in cybersecurity and challenges and career opportunities. Thank you for joining me on this lovely Friday of Media Awareness Week as well. And it's kind of a coming home for you, Diana, as
It
well.
is absolutely happy to be here again.
Yes, thank you. And so, Kathryn, let's get right into it. Tell me about CyberStart Canada.
So CyberStart Canada seeks to increase cyber knowledge and safety among high school girls and close the gender gap in cybersecurity. And so we launched on September 6th.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's our first offering of CyberStart game in Canada. So that was on September 6th, and we opened the program in Ontario, Alberta, and BC for girls and non-binary students that are aged 13 to 18. So in that high school, grade 8, 9 through to grade 12.
Fantastic. And so I'm sharing the website here, and for folks to want to register, they can go right online here at cyberstartcanada.com. Diana, tell me why this program like this is so important. It's not your first rodeo in this space, having been part of ICTC and Cyber Titan. You've become a bit of an expert on cybersecurity. How cool is that?
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when you're looking at the K-12 space, I find that it's an underrepresented group when we talk about cybersecurity and the importance of cybersecurity. So there was a recent report that came out. You shared it on your LinkedIn, Robert, that was brought out by ICTC, making some really good points about the labor market, which absolutely there's about a 25,000 spots within that are empty. The stat was that 1 in 6 jobs go unfilled. And, those are good things to know. And there's a lot of work being done in the post-secondary sector and within industry to reskill and get those jobs filled. However, where my expertise lies is, and I'll get on my soapbox a little bit, is about that there's really not enough noise being made about the importance of creating the awareness and starting to build the skills in K-12. When you're looking at kids in the age range that CyberStart is focusing on, which is 13 and up, they are more than capable of taking on a lot of these challenges that some of them really prepare them for things that are covered in like computer science 101 in university. So it's amazing when you give the kids the opportunities to participate and bring them into the conversation and show them what to do, how quickly they learn it. And the overall goal is to, create that strong talent pipeline that will make Canada not only protect Canadians, but also make us globally competitive.
Fascinating. Kathryn, talk to me a bit about the importance of diversity in cybersecurity.
Yeah, so as Diana mentioned, there's over 25,000 open spots in cybersecurity. And so we know that it tends to be a more male-dominated industry, male-dominated field. So we're not seeing women applying for jobs. We're not seeing individuals who identify with 2S LGBTQ communities. Like we're not seeing those individuals stepping up to the plate and saying, this is a space for me. And so we're creating that space to be able to invite girls and non-binary students into the space, show them they're welcome, show them there's space for them here. And representation matters. Like if you're seeing girls in the program, and non-binary students in the program, they're more likely to engage. And I remember growing up and I didn't know what cybersecurity was. It was not really a thing when I was younger. Computers were all fairly new. The internet, I think it's not very old. And so I always thought like, I'll be a teacher or I'll be a nurse, I'll be a doctor. You see what you're familiar with. You don't necessarily see what else exists there. And so it's incredibly important to introduce individuals younger.
Absolutely. And you don't know what you don't know, and painting a picture and it's not our first rodeo. This is I'm on my third career. So I think it's really important for our youth to understand that when you have a vision of where you want to go, the path isn't always direct, as it was for me and yourself, Kathryn. We're both in sport management, believe it or not. Now we're in tech. So that's really important for young people and educators as well, to really reinforce the fact that you're going to have 5 to 8 different careers or jobs
Mhm.
in your lifetime, and that's okay
Mhm.
because as you evolve your skill set, you progress and you evolve and follow your passion, but be practical. I always say, right?
Yeah.
Over to you, Dan.
One of the things that I would add to that, just on what you said, educators are being aware that you might have more than one career. I think one of the things that has really changed, and we need to change our mindset, is that there are jobs and careers that don't exist yet.
Absolutely.
Right? So how do you expose kids to that continuous learning mindset? How do you expose kids to programs like CyberStart that can be done in the classroom, can be done like clubs, can be done on their own time from home? So teaching kids to take some responsibility for their own learning as well, doing, of course, in an engaging way, because we're talking about building all kinds of skills. And one of the things that I like to promote within cybersecurity as well is the fact that a lot of girls don't see themselves in it because they see it as a very technical job. And I'm going to go into tech. I don't want to go into tech. However, 90% of all jobs have a digital component now.
Absolutely.
And cybersecurity is at the heart of all of that. So how do we, make that and create those skills in young people?
Absolutely. And speaking of which, my daughter recently went into cybersecurity.
Oh.
And it's her third job since she graduated from university
Wow.
2 years ago. So she's progressing, and it's a U.S. Cybersecurity firm. To your point, there are many unfilled jobs and opportunities, and she wasn't the most techy, but she's adapting, and it's having that growth mindset, as you alluded to. Kathryn, your thoughts?
It's interesting because I think about like tying it back into CyberStart game and the different skills that you can develop within the game. So I don't have a technical background as we just discussed, but through the game I'm able to experience the technical side while continuously developing my non-technical side. So over 200 plus cybersecurity challenges based off of real cyber crimes that help you develop your problem solving, your creative thinking, your critical thinking, tenacity, passion, excitement for the content, curiosity. You want to find it's challenging. You want to find what's next. You want to find what's going to solve, get the flag, continue on, and you become very immersed in it. So the immersive and gamified platform, and it's making cybersecurity fun. And my favorite part is that you're learning without realizing you're learning. And so it's a really great way to tie in those transferable skills that you may not see when looking at cybersecurity, for example, or a tech job, and into the game as you start to develop slowly those technical skills.
Absolutely. Now, and then you have experience with this and challenging the youth, previously with the Cyber Titan program. I'm sure some of these kids have been inspired to go on to pursue this as a career path, no doubt.
100%. And we have a really great story out of one of our Cyber Titan students that came, that was one of the original female teams. She's actually not pursuing a career in what you would consider tech, but she's gone into the health field. And she has actually gone back to share with her coach how much contribution she's been able to make from a tech perspective and what she learned in cyber, that she's actually been able to find that connection in the health field. So she still feels very strongly, even though that she's not in it directly, that the skills that she learned for that program are so relevant to what she's doing in healthcare.
And what's fascinating when you have these challenges is that you're honing your skills. We talk about the 7 C's to C21 Canada, your communication, critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, and working in a team environment is really critical in the communication skills that are required, especially today, given the multitude of tools that we're using to launch this podcast as well in the background here. They don't realize that they're actually learning through these challenges.
Yeah.
Kathryn.
That's probably my favorite part of it. I know that for sure, that it's kind of hidden away there. And what educators can do is even look out for those different skills in their students to consider them, like what's next for them. What courses can you be taking while you're still in school? What could you consider in post-secondary or alternative pathways to education? Looking at different roles in cyber, like builders or defenders, influencers, leaders. There's so many different opportunities, and you can see what students are interested in. So like the one who's building Legos and things like that, they may do really well in one of those builder type roles. So they're building like secure infrastructure and things like that.
Right.
Or they like breaking things or taking apart an iPhone. Like perhaps they'd be really interested in like ethical hacking. So it's looking like much or those little key pieces or cues in the students and seeing how they can hone in on those skills, how they can continue to develop them, or even being like influencers and leaders like ourselves where I don't have that technical background. And so it's really great to be able to promote this and show that like you can develop it and there's the opportunity to it. And you can speak to the importance of cybersecurity, cyber awareness, digital literacy, and the importance behind it and why we should continue promoting this to our students to ensure that they are keeping themselves safe, their data safe, their families. It's important to be aware.
Fascinating. Dana, your final thoughts?
Yeah,
on
no,
this
and
area?
exactly. As Kathryn was saying, I think one of the things that we miss when we talk about cybersecurity education, or was missed previously, is that we're talking about, we want to create awareness for careers. We definitely want to fill that talent gap. But at the very least, let's keep our businesses safe. So all of these students are going to go out into the workforce. We know that a lot of the way that companies get hacked is actually because somebody has clicked the wrong thing or done something they weren't supposed to.
Right.
Most of the time, it's inadvertently. Through learning these skills early on, you're actually going to end up with a workforce that is more digitally savvy and will actually take responsibility for their actions and know what to do when they're faced with something that just doesn't look right. They'll be able to protect their own personal computers, protect their data, and after all, keep a more secure, economic ecosystem for all Canadians.
Absolutely. So talk to me about the program, launching, the timeline, any costs involved, and how could students and teachers learn more about it, Kathryn?
Yeah, so we launched on September 6th in Ontario, Alberta, and in British Columbia. And next year we'll be going nationwide, so being able to offer resources and supports in French across Canada. We're very excited about that. So right now, Ontario, Alberta, BC, girls and non-binary students aged 13 to 18, so approximately that high school range, grades 8, 9 through to 12. And check out the platform. Like one of the things that we heard back from teachers and some educators was I don't know this, or I don't feel confident teaching cybersecurity. I don't feel confident bringing this to my students because what if they have questions? Like, what do we do next? I need to be ahead of them and ahead of their learning in order to teach them. And no, that's not the case at all. Like this is a very beginner-friendly platform. It's gamified, it's immersive. They're able to engage alongside their students as they're learning, as they're developing, following along with the technical and the non-technical pieces. We have mentors from our accelerated cybersecurity training program that support the girls as well as they're learning. We host games nights, totally optional to engage with one another across provinces, across different schools and different districts. Get to know each other, build community, build awareness of So we are funded by Public Safety Canada and with support from SANS Institute. So we are so grateful to our partners to be able to offer this program across Canada next year, and then in Ontario, Alberta, and BC this year. We're very excited to bring it to our students.
And the website again?
Yes, cyberstartcanada.com. Visit us today, sign up today, check it all out. It's a lot of fun, a lot of learning, a lot of engagement with cybersecurity.
And this is a free program.
It's a free program, absolutely, because of our amazing partners. So Public Safety Canada, SANS Institute, we're very grateful to them to be able to offer this free of charge.
And the one thing that I'll add is that it's incredibly flexible. So if you're a student watching and want to sign up, go to the website and sign up. If you're a teacher and you want to get your kids involved as part of your curriculum, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to build an after-school club, a lunch club, go ahead and do that. If you're a parent, go ahead and get your kids registered. The resources are there. There's resources on how to start a club if you want to do it that way. And as Kathryn mentioned very quickly, they do have what they call we have power hours where the girls are invited to come in and there's a little bit of community that happens and problem solve together.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Diana, Kathryn, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was Kathryn, Maksym, and Diana Barbosa. My name is Robert Merdlacci of the MindShare Learning Report. Be sure to check out www.MindShareLearning to get your latest issue and cyberstartcanada.com as well. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the learning curve steep.